Welcome back. Okay, before we talk about these
Yeah.
heroic bobsled teams,
Right.
we'll talk about Sochi, right? We'll stay
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we're
Right,
still
what's happening, the plenary section, we talked about, some
right.
journalists who attended it talking about the different, events that will happen before the World Cup and also the possibility of we having a perfect World
That's where
Cup.
we're
Yeah.
going next.
So
That's
we're
where
going
we're
to
going
Sochi
next.
right
Yeah,
now,
let's go to
Russia. All
Sochi.
right.
Let's go live to Sochi now. We're being joined by Abiodun Ilori, Nigerian journalist based in the UK, is in Sochi right now for the workshop, 2018 FIFA World Cup workshop in Sochi. And Abiodun, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Good morning, Nigeria. It's nice
Right.
to be on air.
Right.
You say good morning here in Sochi.
Okay. Biona, let's just go. Let's cut to the chase. You've been there since yesterday. This is the second day of the workshop. And what have you taken away from it so far? I mean, the organizers, the LOC, they're saying it's going to be a perfect World Cup. From what you've seen on ground, is it looking that way yet?
Obviously, yes. The answer is yes, yes, and yes.
Okay.
Russia is ready for FIFA 2018 World Cup. From what we have seen on ground, we've been taking around. We just came back from one of the stadiums, that is the Fish Stadium here in Sochi. And I can tell you, I've been to so many stadiums, I've seen so many facilities in my life. What I saw this morning is one of the very, very best. It's just right up there. And one thing we can take away from Russia right now is the level of security. They are not taking anything for granted. And I want to just keep this into Nigerians who want to come to Russia for the World Cup. If you are not clean, just don't bother to leave the shores of Nigeria. These guys are hot. You can't beat them. If you have any criminal record, don't just bother. Just stay back. Because even for us journalists, they check us every minute. As we are moving from one end to the other, they check us all over again. At the airport, we spend 15 minutes just checking our papers to be sure that we have no criminal record. So if you're coming because you're not going to be using your visa, you're going to be using your PAN ID, you will be properly screened at the airport. Russia is ready. I can tell you this for a fact.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, it's really good to know that Russia is really ready. I mean, during the plenary session, some journalists actually asked about transportation, the rail movement, the train movement and all that. How is that coming?
Well, let me just clear that issue right now. From what we were told, just this morning, we were with the Minister of Sports in this region, and I'm sure Brazil will be here, Poland will be here, and Sochi will be hosting 4 matches. First, the transportation system from this area where 4 matches will be hosted is damn on point. This is what is going to happen. They have already in place 255 luxurious coaches, and they have a train system that will be running every two minutes. We've been to the station, we've seen the buses. In fact, we rode in those buses since we came yesterday, and I can assure you what they told us this morning. They said the capacity of the stadium is 48,000, and from their projection, with the system in place, everybody should be out of the arena and the train station in 40 minutes for you to know the level of preparation that has gone into this. 255 luxurious buses, and these buses are cool and can accommodate, I think, 80 people at a blow or 100 people, I'm not sure. But they are ready. The train system is there. We saw the facilities in place. And that's the same thing they have in other venues. But from Sochi here, they have 40 minutes to evacuate all the people coming to watch the matches from in and around the stadium. That's the plan.
So far, it seems we can actually have a perfect World Cup in Russia in June.
Honestly speaking, from what we have seen, Russia is ready, and they have showed us their seriousness. They have showed us the physical side of it. They have showed us the mental side of it. They have showed us the psychological side of it, and their projections as well. So there is no taking this pride away from Russia. They want to host the world. They want to prove a point to the world. They want the world to know that it's not just about the other Russia. It's about what Russia can give back to the world, that they are ready. That I can tell you.
Okay, Biodun, it's good to know that Russia, everything is in place now for a perfect, in quotes, World Cup. You're not alone in Russia and Sochi, to be precise. You also have a colleague from the UK with you, Shaka. Shaka.
Let me hand over the microphone to him.
Okay, hand it over to him quickly. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Shaka.
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you on Spot this morning. Yeah, good to have you on the show. I mean, you've been at the workshop as well too. Day 1, day 2 is ongoing at the moment. Now, what have you taken away so far?
Well, like my colleague says, there is no doubt that Russia has put a lot of effort into organizing and anticipating potential problems and dealing with them before they arise. It's a slick organization. It's been done very efficiently, and I think it's going to be a great success.
Right, great success so far. And we've been talking about the transportation, the security, all those things. So far, 2 days in Sochi, your overall impressions?
Like I said, I believe the Russians are ready for any challenges that this World Cup is going to bring. The organization, the infrastructure is first rate, and the impression I have taken from Sochi is it's a very, very efficient organization. It's a city that has a plan. The World Cup is part of that plan. It's not the be-all and end-all. It is simply part of that plan, and this is going into the future. Sochi is a place to come back to.
Okay, I can imagine. You can wait to go back in June. Thank you very much, Shaka, for joining us on Channel Sport this morning. Thank you to Abiodun Laurie as well, too. And we'll continue to monitor what's going on in Sochi, and we'll bring you updates on our subsequent shows. So that's it for the World Cup for now. Let's continue with the show here, and let's talk about the bobsled and skeleton team, the triumphants, okay, the heroic welcome that they had yesterday night from when they returned from the Winter Olympics in South Korea. And Cecilia, you were there, and Chidebere, just look at this. Yeah. This is very, very, very impressive. The fact that people would actually, turned up to welcome these girls. There was a band in place as well too, and I can imagine how the girls felt once they stepped out of the airport to this very warm welcome.
I think you don't get any more reverence from your country than, having this kind of welcome given to you and having people actually dancing. I'm sure a lot of people at the airports might have, just joined in on the parade. So for me, I think it's a good one for them. It gives them a lot of confidence. They said something while they were in Pyeongchang. They said that it's going to be a thing of gladness when a subsequent Winter Olympics comes along and we have Nigerian teams going to the event and actually winning things. Shehu said that it's definitely a stepping stone, and she called on the Nigerians in diaspora because we have to be realistic. We don't have snow in Nigeria, so it's going to be difficult to really pursue the sport in Nigeria here. So we have to look at those who are in diaspora to help us get this.
Just looking at the pictures.
Exactly.
Everybody
waiting. Like, they were here as early as 7 p.m. Waiting till 9:30 p.m., almost 10 before they actually, came out and all that. I was impressed. I was even thinking some people would leave, but hell no. They started dancing. They waited and waited and waited for them to come in. And when they came, you know what Nigerians can do? We practically struggle with the fans to get a picture of them. Maybe we can see the other picture of the girls, coming out from the airport. The anxious, the anxiety and all that. The fans were just ready. When they knew that they were coming and all that, all of them came out, with their phones, exactly. Yeah. And the security guys trying to, put everybody in order so that when the girls come out, they have somewhere to go to. But just look at what happened when they came out. That's the moment when they came out, the fans, the of course, the media guys, I mean, coupled with the security guys and all that, everyone trying to, you know, just get to them. And it got to a moment where they just started dancing. They just couldn't help it. This is my best moment.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Ever.
Show
I didn't.
Yeah, she just can't stop dancing.
Yeah, all of them.
I think I was surprised, you know, by Ngozi and Omega, because these are the two girls I felt, okay, they really can't dance. I know Sheun can. But then, I mean, I was amazed with, you know, with what they did on it. I just been able to stay with the fans, you know, dance with them and enjoy the moment with them and all. That's really, you know, what matters for these girls when they come. I love the fact that the fans just waited patiently, you know, for them to really arrive. So it was really a heroic welcome for these girls. They didn't win any medals, but then they achieved personal best. Yeah, the personal best that they got there. I think that's what I'm really, you know, taking away from Adegbu, for instance. Yeah, yeah.
Ngozi Nwumere is there as well, too. Seun Adigun, as well as
Simidele,
Adiagbo, all lovely ladies that went to the Winter Olympics and did big things for Nigeria. Put Nigeria's name on the map when it comes to the Winter Olympics. First time ever from this part of the world.
All right, now let's listen to the bobsleigh team first before we listen to Simidele.
It was absolutely beautiful to know that people rallied all over the world. Niger, non-Niger, everybody together came and just represented us very, very nicely. And everyone was proud at the ability to make history and be innovative. You know, one thing that we can definitely say is that we have a starting point. You know, we have to start from somewhere. And so the good thing is that, you know, just like in life, you can't go from 0 to 100 just like that. You have to go everywhere in between. So we're very blessed that that margin was just that, because what people also don't see is that we improved 7 seconds from the first day we got on ice there to the day that we raced. So it's all one day at a time. As long as you can get better every day, I think that you can take something away from that. By God's grace, we'll go there with a bigger contingency. We still have 4 years to get everyone together, so we'll have, you know, a better outing, and that's the hope, is just to continue to grow on this momentum.
I think the experience was amazing. Everybody was excited to see Nigeria represented. Everybody was excited, regardless of the outcome, for us to just be included in something. And so I think that's the start to something amazing for the future. I think we're fairly new, so we didn't really have a lot to have expectations for. But I think moving forward, we know what to expect, and so we're only going to get better from here. Being able to compete with the best in the world, I think that puts us in the ranking to be the best in the world. You first have to see it to be able to do it. We didn't have ice to train, and so I think that's very visible here that we can do it, and I think that we will have a larger contingency moving forward.
The experience was extremely overwhelming, I think, to say the least, but at the same time we had a lot of support. Our families came out to support us like they've always have. A lot of people from Nigeria had come out to support us. We had our federation. We were almost the only team that had the actual ambassador of Nigeria in Korea come to visit us. So that was extremely welcoming to see that we are being received all over the world. Even in Korea, the Korean people loved us as well. So I think that just goes to show you our impact. It all depends on the driving at that point, because at the end of the day, if you have a lot of speed at the top and you can't control the steering when you drive the sled, then the push doesn't really matter as much as people think it might. But whenever you say it for like the US, Germany, people who are very, very close, that's when that push matters. Everything that they do matters. So depending on how well the track is navigated throughout the races, then we just keep getting better and better. But it was great to see that we improved every single heat that we did, and that was even from the beginning of training, where we were at 59 and then at the end we ended at 52. So I mean, we improved that, but that just goes to show you that this sport actually means that we have to have time. We have to take our time to do things, and if we would have had more time, then we probably would have been in top 10. You know, I think that what we have to do now is start recruiting. Hopefully this has engaged other people who are athletes to be interested in bobsled or winter sports. It doesn't necessarily have to be bobsled, but if they are interested in bobsled, then we are definitely taking inquiries, and we have been for the past year. So anybody who's looking to be a driver, we're welcoming. Anybody who's looking to be a brakeman, I'm training. So anything that people want to do, we're going to hopefully get people here in Nigeria involved, and people in the diaspora as well. I think that the target is just to have Nigeria have a sled there. We definitely want to be represented in every single Winter Games from this point on. We didn't do all this in vain, so hopefully we will have that green, white, and green flag in the stadium every year.
All right. I mean,
fantastic.
Fantastic. I mean, these girls can just go on, and you just want to keep listening to them, you know, because of the encouragement.
She said she's training.
She's training, yeah.
So
I mean,
you said you're interested.
Are you serious?
I said coiling, right? That's what I told you.
Coiling,
that's
right?
indoor.
That's
That's
safer, right?
That's what I want you to do. Not that. I mean, I saw the skeleton. I was afraid.
Terrifying.
I mean, I was like, Simidele, you know, she did fantastically well. The fact that she even had personal best 53.73 seconds. That's what she got in that one. I was impressed with that. We'll go for a break now. We'll come back. We'll listen to her.